Welcome. Just kind of a little bit of recap from Saturday. We, as I said then, and really feel the same way when I talked to the team afterwards and then talked to them yesterday, after watching the film, really felt about the same in regards to, man, our kids played hard and just did not capitalize on two key opportunities to get the ball back when the ball was on the ground. Caused two fumbles and did not get either one of them. A 7-point game at both times, and that would have been huge. And then the two picks that we threw in the fourth quarter were just, big mistakes that we didn't recover from. So thought our defense played really, really hard, got wore down, and then at the fourth quarter when we had to go back a couple times there, would love to see us bow up and force field goal attempts. Unfortunately, we're not able to do that, and that created the separation in the score. So got to protect football, got to create takeaways on our defensive side of the football and learn from that and press on. So that's where we're at. And as far as the game summary, offensively, Wes Martin was our offensive player of the game, continues to be rock solid on the offensive line as both a leader and his performance. Defensively, Robert McCray probably played his best game, I believe, since I've been here. Couple sacks, couple calls, it caused one of the fumbles, and several hurries. And I thought he was very physical in the run game, which we have to have that from him, and really challenged him, applauded his effort and how well he played, and need that the final stretch here from him. So really proud of Robert and the way he performed. And then special teams was Griffin Oakes, another field goal that he continues to do a great job in that area. His kickoffs were solid. And then did have a tackle. Don't want him to have to make those tackles, but he got one that was a key for us. So doing little things right. Players of the week on the scout team, defensively, Darian Meminger, defensive tackle, as well as Josh Brown, defensive tackle, were both players of the week for scouts. And then on offense, Jack Moran, Phil Binker, and Sam Garvin. Jack's a receiver, Phil's a receiver, and Sam's an offensive lineman. So really proud of their effort and continued focus in practice, which is what we have to have. And on this final stretch, a very important game for us as we head to Illinois on Saturday. Really good challenge yesterday with our players and talking, we'll have our seniors all come down and stand before the team and understand what's at stake, sense of urgency at this stage of the season in our final 3 Big Ten games. And our complete focus is now turned to Illinois and going to Champaign and playing our best football this season. And that's our objective, and that's what we plan to do. Questions?
From quarterback, will Peyton be able to play? Or?
Don't know yet. That will continue to progress. We'd love to be able to get him physically ready to go, and we'll know more as the week unfolds. Had him out there yesterday working through everything and throwing some balls and continue to rehab. So we would love to get him back, but we don't know yet.
If you needed him Saturday, could he have played, or would he have been?
I don't think so. And I know because you had that conversation about Nick Tronti and his red shirt and what that all looks like, and so we've had those conversations prior to that. And so if we had to go through and play the game out, we would didn't really feel like Peyton was ready to go yet. So Nick would have had to go on.
You say you had the seniors come down yesterday. Was that like a player-led meeting? Or was
No, we have a normal Sunday afternoon meeting, the first thing that we do after we watch special teams. And so I just had every senior come down and stand in front of the whole team. And I want them to look them in the eye, and the seniors look them in the eye and understand, what's at stake the last 3 weeks of the season. A special group of guys here with us. And I just think it's always about people. I made that point at that time as well. And, the motivation for us is from within, and it's the guys that's next to you. It's not about the challenge before you, it's those who are beside you. And that's what I believe is a powerful thing that our guys have bought into, and the guys beside them is a special group of seniors that there's a sense of urgency, I believe, that we have to have and we will have, and we have some great leaders in that senior class. And so I wanted the whole team to look them in the eye and know as they prepare these last for this huge game for us, which is the biggest game because it's our next game, but we all understand where we are and what we need to do. And so I wanted those guys in front of them, just symbolically show this is what this is all about.
You have a roster without any senior offensive linemen. How much of a factor is that in your rushing game?
You know, I think it's a variable. You know, you always think about, you know, when I think about offensive linemen, you think about fifth-year seniors, you think about older guys, you know, and that's the one position where you really want to have a good core of experience and physical maturity. And so, yeah, by not having any seniors, I think it's part of it, you know, and I think that, you know, we just weren't able to establish a run game, and it killed us. You know, you have to be able to run the football, and I'm not going to cease to say that, and continue to be a priority for us. But I think as those guys develop, and as we've had injuries as well as youth, I think the combination of two has made it hard. And so we just got to continue to make it a priority, and those guys are working hard to, number one, get healthy, and number two, to play well together. So, but yeah, I think that's a variable.
How much of a factor is it at the end of ball games now, where your depth is not as strong as it needs to be, that type of thing? How much of a factor is it? Is this team wearing out in the fourth quarter to some degree?
Well, the numbers show that. You know, we go through and we study everything, and by quarter, whether it's first down production, third down production, just number of 3 and outs that we give up as an offense, number that we get as a defense, and the fourth quarter has been tough on us, and I believe and I know that the injuries have taken their toll, and that's where it really gets exposed. You know, you just, for example, you know, T. Gray and Chris Covington played every snap. You know, so they're playing 80 snaps on defense, and that's hard. That's really hard, you know. And so they're giving us phenomenal effort, and you know, you can just go through and I just think that's, you know, that hurts us for sure. And the answer for that is recruiting and creating more depth and getting guys back from injury. So it's not a simple answer, or excuse me, not a simple, you know, response to that is really not a quick fix by any means. But there's no question that it's hurting us, especially against a big physical team like that just keeps rolling them in, and the size that they have takes its toll as the game wears on.
With that in mind, I know we ask this all the time, but some of those guys like Marcelino, is there kind of any path for them getting back at any point soon?
We're trying. I'll tell you, it's you know, and I meet with those guys individually and just try to continue the rehab and meet with our trainers and doctors just to try to do everything we can. You know, it's all about, you know, I want them, you know, I care more about their well-being, you know, but you try to, that's that natural tension, but you're trying to get them back and get them ready to play, but you don't want them to come back too soon. So, but yeah, we're trying as hard as we can to be able to, you know, get them rehabbed and get them back. So, don't know. I don't expect Marcelino to be back this week. I think it would surprise me if he was. We're trying to, for sure, but yes, you don't know until you get into the week for sure how that's going to play out. But would love to get him back. But he's still working hard every single day to try and make that happen. So hope to get some other guys back for sure. But we'll know more about that as the week unfolds. But that's the key is for us to continue to. If we can get a guy or two back, it helps a lot in special teams and in our overall depth.
You consider Nick Tronte as an option. Is that totally depth related, or is he played really well?
Well, you know, I think it's depth related. You know, he's. We would like to keep his red shirt for sure. That would be the ideal thing to do for a guy that came in the summer and didn't come in mid-year, to be able to learn what he needs to learn. But right now, you know. If you know, Peyton, you know, can't go, then, you know, as the game played itself out, you know, he was on standby to be the next guy in the game, you know. So that's where we're at from a depth chart perspective, and so we're very upfront with him about that and his family. We talked that through, and they knew exactly what was could happen. And but yeah, you'd like to preserve his red shirt at all possible.
That sense of urgency that you talk about, do you worry that it might turn into recklessness or carelessness at all?
No, I don't think so. You know, but I think that's leadership. I think that's what we have to, you know, I think, you know, time creates that, you know, some situations. And so the clock continues to tick, you know, on the season. And so that happens regardless of what you do. And so, as is the case in life. And so I just think that more than anything, it's just a sense of urgency that you have to understand where we're at. But I think that can be a good thing. I do, and that's how I look at it. I'm one of those that I'm always looking for every angle of motivation with our team, and I think our guys understand that concept. And, you don't want them to press. You just go out there and play your hardest and play your best. But you just want to make sure that everything they can do in their preparation is being attended to. Every film session, every little thing they can gain in practice reps, mental reps, staying after practice, working on this, working on that, getting proper rest, all those things that go into playing your best. That, to me, that's the sense of urgency that has to be there, that the guys, because you know that when the end is near, that creates a brevity of life that we all experience. And seniors are different because there is no next year for seniors. And that's why it's valuable to have strong leadership from that group and strong play from that group, because they have a different sense of urgency about them than a freshman who just got here.
With Illinois' offense, they've struggled a little bit to score, but what did they do well? What concerns you?
Well, they have, they've changed quarterbacks, and number 10 is a very good athlete, so the quarterback run game with him is a lot different, and it's something that they've taken advantage of and been able to utilize. And, they have some skilled receivers for sure, and effective running backs, that they've done a good job. They haven't, they've had some injuries as well, and different guys in there that they had in the beginning at certain positions. And they have a lot of youth on the offensive line, so I think that always, as we just had those discussions with our guys, creates challenges for sure. And they say they play the same Big Ten schedule we play, so you got tough opponents. But it's about, us, to me, it's about us playing our very best. And that's what we have to do in all three phases. And we focus on us being a team that does the little things right during the game, creating takeaways, protecting the football, being a lead on special teams play. That, to me, is what has to be our formula for going on the road and winning.
About little things right, the penalties enter into that.
Oh, yeah.
You guys were within the touchdown, had the ball back. Then a holding call creates an obvious pass situation, and the pass rush creates an interception.
Yeah,
Right.
there's no question that penalties, as much a part of the game as they are, nobody wants to make that kind of mistake or intentionally get called for holding, but there's technique involved with that. There's footwork involved with that. There's doing the little things right, just sometimes it's being able to step properly, so that's where those things kind of can be manifested, in the outcome of a play, and there's no question. I mean, anytime it's a major penalty, so 10 yards plus, those are really hard to overcome for most offenses. And so, those will, even an offsides in the red zone can be a killer, especially when you're, tempo offense and you rely on that, and then you just kind of kills all that. So, playing disciplined football is a big part of our success. We don't have a lot of margin for error. I say that often, and I mean that. We need to be able to maximize all the little things, and that's definitely a variable involved in that.
Go ahead. I hate to keep asking about injuries, but I meant to with Peyton Hendershot. I think we saw him not in the pads Saturday, kind of where it seemed like he'd done a lot on special teams.
He did, and sustained an injury, and we continued to rehab him, and still trying to get him back. He's a big-bodied guy that you need that can run, and then you also get to the point in the season when you want to make sure you're protecting him, based on the amount of snaps he's played, and if he doesn't get back, and to be able to not, use up a whole year for only playing for a small portion, so that's the whole thing we're trying to balance, at the same time trying to, put yourself in position to finish the way you want to finish, so there's a lot of variables involved with trying to make those decisions with your players, especially the freshmen, the guys that haven't been redshirted yet, and how do you decide to play that. But yeah, he's a guy you really need on special teams.
Going back and watching the game film, what adjustments did you see that you could make on both sides of the ball going forward these last three games?
Well, from a defensive perspective, the biggest thing, they with their size and the way that they move, there were some things that, from where we set our front a little bit, went back and said, hey, we need to be able to do this in the future. just because of angles and leverage. We moved at times. The thing when you play a team like that, you're trying to balance your movement up front with playing your gaps, because if you're too one way or the other, their size can just kind of wash you down if you move too much, and if you don't move enough, they're going to just knock you off the ball because they know where you're going to be. So just felt like we need to kind of, keep maybe a little more off balance in some of those points, but I think the biggest thing was we had some critical second and longs and a couple third downs where, we were within like a step or a half a step of getting to the quarterback. And sometimes it's just a little thing of whether, not even the guy that was involved with that, where, hey, if another guy, takes an inside path instead of an outside path, that extra step that guy had to waste would have been made up. So once it goes back to the execution of those little things at the key times, it can be, a sack cost fumble if the quarterback's not looking, that changes everything. So you always have a little bit of that adjustment. And I think offensively, we just felt like that we got in too many situations where we had to throw the football, and you got to continue to be able to keep them off balance with the run and the pass game. And even though, they're hard to run the football on, you still have to be effective in the run game. And that isn't always necessarily yards as much as it is reps and opportunities to be able to keep them off balance with your decision making, and to be able to find ways to get your playmakers the ball. They were playing very aggressive coverage on our outside receivers and making it hard to get them the ball at times. But I think you continue to give number one shots, because they're going to have to interfere with him, as they often do, to be able to keep him from catching the ball. So that's kind of the stuff you go through, and we're always reevaluating everything, and Coach DeBoard, does a great job with that. And you're always going to have to go back and say, man, I wish we'd have done this a little bit different, and this maybe we would have modified. The thing that you look at is, hey, it's a one touchdown game in the fourth quarter, and we just didn't take it away on one side, and we gave it up on the other. And to me, that was the difference in the game, bottom line.
It seems like he's had a little bit more of a quiet year, but sometimes coaches talk about really good corners are quiet because they just don't get thrown to a lot. What improvements have you seen him make in his
there's no question. When you especially have a big year like he had last year, and then just kind of the reputation that he has, people don't usually, test that guy as much, and they don't throw his way as much, so he gets less opportunities to make those plays. And so I think the big thing, we try to help him become a more complete player, and being able to be effective in the run game, and to put it on film that, hey, he can, even though he's not a big guy, he's a good tackler. And just to be able to continue to improve playing in man coverage. There was one play where, they just kind of, the ball was thrown in such a way to where his coverage was very tight, and the ball was put high and away to where, when you're playing leverage man, there really wasn't. And the sideline was what was to the outside, And other than that, I think he really pretty much did a great job covering the guys he's on, So he's a really good cover corner, and they don't often throw his way, But yeah, I think that he's done a very good job for us.
You mentioned that T-Grade played 80 snaps. Did somebody else do it?
Covington.
How many snaps would you like them to take?
I think 60 is about, if you get a chance to get him off the field for 15 to 20 snaps, that'd be ideal, and in that kind of a big physical pounding game, I think that'd be a good balance, because then they're going to play some special teams plays too, there's probably no magic number, but you'd like to say, if I can find a way to get a guy off the field 15 to 20 snaps and feel good about the guy coming in to take his place, you'd feel like you had a good, solid backup.
Were there injuries with the backup linebacker?
Yeah, there was, and that's makes it hard, So, but hoping to get some of those guys back this week, which will help a lot.
Coach, in terms of depth, I know you mentioned recruiting obviously being a big piece in building that, but maybe are there any players on the current roster that you're looking to step up and kind of lessen the load on guys like T-Gray and Chris and guys at other positions? To kind
I would just say, at that position, Mike McGinnis is a guy that we brought in here, and he's continued to develop, and that process must go forward, and knowledge of what you're doing, and being able to react and fit, and really, at that position, run the defense, And I think Raekwon Jones is another one that want to see continue to step up and play well at critical times, in those kinds of games. And that, to me, is a big part. And, trying to get Damian healthy and Keontae healthy. But those guys that might be threes initially, now those guys are thrust into twos, and we got to make sure they're ready to go.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Great. Thank you. Elio.